I think the biggest thing that you guys need to remind yourselves about is that your voice and your ideas and your opinions, they need to be heard, right? And don't be afraid of voicing them because you never know who really needs to hear what you have to say.
Hello, fabulous person. Beata Gillette here, the Growth Architect. Welcome back to the Business Growth Architect Show, where we bring you cutting edge business strategies from some of the world's most successful entrepreneurs, business transformation experts, and visionaries who want to help you to scale your impact. Look for one tangible strategy that you can take back and implement right away. And now back to our guest. Welcome back to another episode of the Business Growth Architect Show. I'm your host, Beata Gillette. Today, I'm sitting here with Zach Benson, who will tell you all about Instagram and what he calls an assistagram. Zach, is so amazing to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
So, for somebody who doesn't know who you are, will you please tell them a little bit about you and why do we even know all the things that you do? Why does it matter to us?
Yeah, so I guess nowadays people call me like the influencer's secret weapon. So I help people. We specialize in Instagram campaigns reaching millions and help people, get seen and known, heard all over on Instagram. So that's my specialty, and that's what we're known for. And yeah, I'm really excited to just share some strategies, growth hacking strategies to help people growth hack their social media, how to go viral, like all the 2022 tips and tricks.
I love it. So let's dive into strategy. So somebody like you doing what you do, I bet you have a whole suitcase full of strategies. And I bet they're always changing depending on what the algorithms are doing or what constitutes the new Instagram or social media jail. So tell us what part does strategy play in your work, in your life?
It's everything because with the great content strategy equals more growth, right? So really what's working now, 2022 on Instagram are reels, right? So, we've all heard of TikTok. We've heard of all these new platforms that are coming out, but there's still a lot of viral, like organic growth opportunity on Instagram using Instagram Reels. So I'd love to talk a little bit about that. And yeah, just share some strategies with your audience today that can be, super helpful to growth hacking Instagram 2022 because Instagram's algorithms are super smart, right? So, we used to be able to just post and grow, and people would grow hundreds of followers every single week, thousands of followers per month. And then we went through the period of automation, like follow and follow, and all these apps and robots doing the work. But now because Instagram's algorithms are super smart, like if you're using any of that stuff, your account's going to get compromised and shut down. So I'd like to, yeah, just talk about some methods and strategies that still work, and so that
Go,
your
go,
account
go,
won't get
go, go
banned or
ahead.
shut
I
down.
mean, you almost like not even waiting for my next question. Share
Cool.
strategy. So go ahead, share the strategies. Share all the strategies. Please go.
So number one, you have to be able to pique somebody's interest in a few seconds, right? When I was on the TV show So You Think You Can Dance, judges were already judging me for 7 seconds, right? Should I let this guy go on or should I like reject him and send him home? So same thing with social media. You've got to be able to get people excited, get them to click, get them to consume more of your content, right? So hit that like button, write a comment, and hit that follow button. So that all happens in a matter of seconds. And so, like all platforms, YouTube, TikTok, IG, it's all about the thumbnail, the cover photo of your creative and your video. Step number two is, oh, we've all heard of the hashtag strategy. Like, there's been some strategy saying, hey, we can put 60 hashtags on a post. This will really help you. And that no longer works. You don't even want to use 30 hashtags on a post anymore. What we recommend is that we uh, normally use about 3 to 5 different hashtags on a post, and that gets the most traction, exposure, engagement, and followers. So 3 to 5 hashtags in your caption is what works best for hashtags. And number three, should I do another one? Engagement groups.
Yes, go
Engagement
ahead.
groups are a strategy that has been working for a very long time and still works to this day. But like I said before, the algorithms are changing. So instead of like before getting a bunch of engagement, likes and comments in a 15-minute window after you post, you want to try to get engagement throughout the day, right? So several times a day, you're going to be dropping your link to your post in these engagement groups where other people are going to like, leave genuine comments. And when you get enough of these coming in at a several times throughout the day, that's what really like hits the algorithms, boosts you onto the explore the homepage that everybody's on, and helps you go viral, which leads to more growth and followers.
That's amazing. And so how do you how do you figure out how what these strategies are that are going to work? Because I'm pretty sure that Instagram or social isn't exactly having you in speed dial. And Zuki isn't probably going to call you and say, "Hey Zach, here's what's happening right now." That's a secret because they don't want you to hack it. So how do you hack these strategies?
Well, I have some people on the inside, right? I was hanging out with Randy Zuckerberg, Mark's sister, last year in Korea. So, we do have some insider connections, but really it's like my team, we're, just like scientists, growth hackers, right? Trying to test and test and test time and time again to see like what works and what doesn't. And so even with these hashtags, we're creating multiple sets of hashtags and rotating them throughout the months to see which ones perform the best. So that's what we all have to do as growth hackers, right? Like things are constantly moving, constantly changing every single day. So I have a team that's just constantly doing research and figuring out what works and what doesn't.
So, that's actually a really important thing that you just said, Zach. I believe that um, it's important for our audience to take that point away because most of the time when we work with business owners, founders, entrepreneurs, they go and they say, "Just give me this one technique that works. Just give me one thing that works. I just need to find more clients." Is there such a thing as one thing that works?
Yes and no. I think like whatever works for you to like get you to where you're at, you know, today has, taken you so far, right? But what's going to help you get to that next level won't. So you constantly got to be, learning, growing, networking, working and creating new strategies and building your network to I think go to the next level. So, but at the same time, it's like mastering the mundane, like doing these little things that seem to make no difference at all in the act of doing them. But when you're consistent and keep working and working and working, eventually these will compound into big, magnificent results. So,
So, how did you figure out that this is part science, part data, part just audacity, not give up? I mean, how does someone get into this? Is it one day you just woke up and you sat down and you say, "I'm going to crack that darn code"? Is that what
yeah,
happened?
I think, well, everybody's story is a little bit different, but to kind of dive deeper into my story, like before all this social media marketing stuff, I was a break dancer. So, like I said, so you think you can dance and, travel to 75 countries. And towards the end of my dance career, was even making a pretty good income of about $1,000 an hour just teaching workshops. So, I guess I kind of cracked the code as an artist and figured out how to monetize and monetize well. And, I you know, so here I was, right, living life, traveling, doing something I love, and then I hurt my back in India, which ended my dance career. And with no plan B, I was like, okay. My mom and dad were like, oh, now what are you gonna do? You can't move, you can't dance. And so the same friend who got me into dancing called me up. It's like, listen, Zach, I know you're going through some hard times. You just broke your back and you're depressed and sad. But listen, like me and my brother are making a ton of money on Instagram and we're growing people thousands of followers per day. Like you got to get in on this. And so with the last little money I had, I sent a check to Miami and boom, bought a 400,000 follower account. Use that to grow other people's accounts. And fast forward today, we have a 200 million network on social media. So, I mean, that's how I fell into it. But I think like a lot of people, might have different stories or different people and things that come into their lives, and might give them a sign or a little nudge or word of encouragement to do something. So that. It was my friend from Iowa that I grew up going to elementary school with that helped me get into this.
That's amazing. I like that. That kind of like leads me a little bit to a mindset question that I have for you because in mindset work, we know that oftentimes that opportunities show up as challenges. Did you were you looking at this from a mindset perspective of were you looking actively for opportunities and you had this why not attitude? What made you kind of say yes to something like that that was really not on your regular path?
Yeah, it's just I guess it's just my upbringing, just like you know, just how I live life, right? It's like when I see people doing something and doing it really well, and mastering something, and making good income and living a good life and have fun while doing it. I just listen to those people in my life and ask them questions, listen, understand how they do it, and I try to do it and integrate it in my life as well. So it was one of those things where my friend was very successful, traveling, doing all the things I wanted to do. And so when that time came, I was like, okay, yes, yes, like I'm willing to hear what you got to say, and let's see if we can make it work. So I've always been an action taker, and I mean, that's gotten me in trouble too. Like growing up in school, like I'd be the first one to just finish the assignments, right? Like they'd be like, slow down, Zach. You don't have to rush through everything. But I've always just not thought so much and just acted and decided and do, decide and do. That's kind of my motto.
I absolutely love that. And I want to just, pause here and really point this out because I think that one of the things that I hear again and again in these interviews, which is so noteworthy, is that people who are successful, they just don't throw in the towel when something happens that is a complete curveball. Yeah, you have feelings about it. You said you were depressed, you broke your back, you were dancing, you were all over the place. You made a career out of it. People admired you and being in something so visual and so awe-inspiring and then boom, one day to the next it's just over. But the ability to say that I've done this once, I'm going to do it again is so different from the saying, "My life is over because I cannot do that one thing that I loved so much to do." Did you have this was sort of your attitude that you said, "Well, there's gotta be something else out there." Is that what it was?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd been kind of thinking about it because like my wealth advisor was like, Zach, what will happen? What will you do if you can't use your hands and feet? Like you got to think about these things, right? What if you have a freak accident while you're traveling and doing all these things, or you hurt yourself while dancing, right? So it was like, I guess I had a kind of these plan Bs and these things in the back of my mind, but when it actually happened, then I was just like, okay, I am at rock bottom. This is real. Like I gotta act and decide and do and get myself out of these negative, depressed feelings and start thinking positive thoughts and you know just get it myself in a better spot.
That's amazing. So, let's talk about what's your favorite strategy? Is there anything that you love so much that you go like, "I gotta share this with you. You need to know this."
Yeah, yeah. Like I guess like the other cool thing that I'm doing right now is working with a lot of hospitality groups and tourism boards in countries. So I guess a really cool travel hack type strategy for people to do. Like let's say that you don't have a lot of followers and you only have like 1,000 followers on Instagram, but you want to travel to a really beautiful country like the Maldives or Greece or Bora Bora. Well, there's a way to get your vacation paid for and absolute like totally free. And so what I figured out was when I started and I didn't have a lot of followers, I reached out to these other bigger accounts that had hundreds of thousands, millions of followers on them. I was like, "Hey, how much do you charge for a post like on your wall? Because I want to do what you're doing and I want to travel the world." And they started quoting me these prices. And when I figured out, I was like, oh, these guys are like kids, like teenagers, like 15, 16, 17, 19 years old. And they had millions of followers. And so they would like quote me $100 for a post on their wall. And so you see what I'm saying is like you don't necessarily have to have all of these followers. You can make friends with people that do, leverage their following, reach out to that hotel in Bora Bora and say, "Hey, good afternoon. My name is Zach Benson. I'm an traveler, entrepreneur with a network of 7 million followers. These are our accounts. I maybe list my account and then all of my friends that have millions of followers. I mean, this is what I used to do. We'd love to stay at your hotel. These are the dates. We love this, and that about it. In exchange for your best available suite, breakfast, lunch, and dinner would be nice. Spa experiences would be amazing. We can do the following." And then my value stack was we'll do two positive Instagram posts. We'll do, TripAdvisor review, Facebook review if we have an awesome time. And then we'll give you all rights and free usage of our content. And so I made I leveraged other people's followings. I reached out to local content creators, videographers in those countries I wanted to travel to, paid them their hourly rate, or just said, "Hey, I'll tag you on these massive pages with millions of followers if you create all of this content for free." And that is one of the strategies that I use today that I wanted to share with your audience that has allowed me to get over like 700 nights for free at some of the world's most luxurious hotels.
That's unbelievable. I'm like listening to this. I'm like, that is crazy, you know. But yes,
Yeah.
it makes a lot of sense because if they charge you $100 to do a guest post, and then you say, well, these are the outlets that we're publishing regularly our things, and then you come back with your post and you pay a couple $100 to put these posts out on like 5, 10 other accounts. It costs you $1,000, and now it looks like they've been promoted to all of these crazy locations
Yes,
via
yes.
yeah, these influencers. Brilliant. Genius. I love
So
it.
that's how I built my network, right? So I paid a couple $100 or, $500, but then I was staying at hotels that celebrities like Will Smith and all these famous actors were staying at for like nothing, you know? Hotels that were like 20, 30, $50,000 a night. But it's not like trying to hack the system. It's just trying to figure out like what they really need help with, and it's exposure. They want more traffic, they want more customers. So I figure out what they're trying to work on, and I just connect the dots, and that's what I do, right? And it's how
I
you
love
can.
genius. It's absolutely genius. I love that. I call these strategies backdoor strategies that are all based upon reverse engineering of the value proposition. Because if you know what they want, then you can reverse engineer how to deliver that. And then you know exactly what you need to do, which is just another one of those great strategies. I love it. Zach, question for you. So, doing so many things that you're doing, is it about impact? Is it about money? Is it about experiences? Is it about sharing? What is it about for you?
It's a combination of all of them to a certain extent, but I would say like my priority is like the world's beautiful. Like life is all about, for me, God and people, and I just want to explore the world and create awesome memories with the people I love and I care about the most. So for me, it's, traveling and speaking and networking. And, I always feel like I'm learning, constantly learning from everyone, whether it's, millionaire, billionaire that I meet, or even someone on the street or whatever. I just, you know, that's what I'm passionate about. And that's what my priority is.
I have a personal question for you. So here you are, right? So you're a dancer and you're like on all these stages and you're everywhere and you're around really crazy successful people, celebrities, which you are still obviously to this day. How are you not intimidated by that? Can you share with us is like how do I call these the oh shit moments when you do something like really big and you go, "Oh shit." So how do you manage that? I mean, you're so well tempered, right? And so calm. It's like so how did you not freak out when you were doing all these huge things?
Yeah, and just to, one more part of my story, right? I had this speech impediment, and I couldn't say the letter R until I was like in my 20s. And so I'd take these speech therapy classes, and speech therapists lady was like, if you quit, no one will be able to understand you. You know, you probably won't amount to much, and you'll never be able to say the letter R in your whole life. I know it sounds silly, right? But I like just really took that to heart because I was like 6, and I just never talked to people. So I never thought I was going to be doing podcasts like this or speaking on stages with thousands of people or meeting these celebrities. But I think what it is really is just, deciding and doing, because when you think too much and you hesitate, then you kind of like scare yourself and freak yourself out. And then two, it's just like I know, like as a one of the things I learned as a dancer is that true freestyle, like just simply listening to the music, reacting and moving, like everybody has a different style and a way to they feel it. And it's not bad, even though to some people like they're like, oh, that's bad, but it's just freestyle and it's you being you. And I think a lot of these celebrities and these people like it when you're just authentically, genuinely you. And so, I just decide and do it. If I see a celebrity out there and I'm like, oh, I want to talk to them or I'm following your content, always like go up to them, smile, greet them with a smile, compliment them, and then, get the conversation going. But I'm like, I'd rather just do it than like regret, you know. I don't like missing out on things and missing out on new opportunities and new friends and new partnerships. So I'm just try to put myself out there.
Yeah, I think that's another really important thing I want to point out for our listeners is that I think the notion that we regret what we don't do is really something that should all scare us. To remember that it's not, yeah, so the worst thing that can happen is someone's going to say no, or says I'm really busy, or I don't think so. But then you're exactly where you are right now, and nothing really changes. But if you don't do that, then you're gonna sit there and you say, "Man, I wished I would have done something, said something." Um, and it's about being genuine. So, how do you? Is there like a process that you have? So before I go and speak on a stage, I have this process where I remind myself, I speak a prayer, and then I drop out of my head into my heart, right? Because I want to be here and I want to feel it. Is there a process that you have that you can share where you say, well, so when I go out and I do these really big things, and when people check you out and they see just who you're working with, right? That's going to blow their mind. So is there a process that you have where you remind yourself we're all human, or anything you can share so that people are not intimidated when they try really big things is where I'm trying to get to.
Yeah, yeah, I like your like speaking ritual. That's pretty cool. I think it's all about being in the here and now and being present because we have like so many ideas and so many things that we're thinking of and so many things that we need to do and worry about. But it's like thinking about things that haven't even happened yet, or thinking about things that we didn't do yet or wish we didn't do. So it's all about being in the here and now. But um, you know, I guess like I'm not like I'm kind of like a free spirited, like go with the flow type person. And so I do have some strategies and some like rituals and things that I do, but also like every experience and every talk that I give is a little bit different with a different audience and different crowd. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is just like I think it's I think the biggest thing that you guys need to remind yourselves about is that your voice and your ideas and your opinions, they need to be heard, right? And don't be afraid of voicing them because you never know who really needs to hear what you have to say. And it doesn't have to be in the most pretty, eloquent, perfect way, right? I'm not like that. Like I don't have perfect grammar and I'm not like a wasn't like a English student or whatever. But what I'm saying is that if you do have something inside of you and you do, you know, get it out, share it, and it's, really going to help people. So that's the most important thing is just helping people. So as long as they can understand what you have to say, and they're like, "Oh, I really get it." It's not like over their head or you using all this fancy talk if you don't want to. It's just you trying to really help them and give them value and help them understand and make it click for them.
That was really beautiful, and I felt that genuineness as you say that. I believe that especially in this world of internet marketing and open rate and click-through rates and hacks and whatever is, that oftentimes there is a dehumanization of the original idea, which is the connection to people. So that's really refreshing in our interview, where I really feel that this is what it's about for you, the true connection to the audience, and to say, look, someone has something to say, and so listen to what that message. It's really beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
So now that everybody loves you, how can they find out more about you? Where do we go? Where do we send them?
Yeah, well, thanks to everyone listening. Thank you and appreciate you tuning in. You can follow me and message me on Instagram. My personal account is at Zach Vacay, and yeah, I would love to connect with you guys, hear your story. You can also find me on Facebook. Just type in Zach Benson. I'm doing like this like breakdance freeze, the peace sign. Yeah, so yeah, would love to connect.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. Any last words that you want to leave our audience with your absolute awesomeness and your down to earthness and your genuine way about you? I mean, it's very refreshing. I feel like I've just been inspired, and I'm like all calm and cool and collected now.
Awesome, awesome. I love it. I love it. Well, yeah, thank you for your kind words. And, again, everyone, like, you're in the right place, right? You have the right leader and teacher guiding you. And so I think just keep on learning from everyone, keep developing and growing yourself, continue to give back and do good things. And, good things will happen to you. So I just keep it pretty simple, right?
Yeah, you certainly are. Well, thank you so
Yeah, yeah,
much. So beautiful
yeah.
way to end this interview. So thank you so much for being here and sharing your wisdom with us. Very much appreciated.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
And that's it for us today. Thank you for listening and watching the Business Growth Architect Show. I enjoyed having you here. And for accountability, just take one of the strategies that you have heard, one thing that you can implement in your business immediately. Please leave comments. Don't forget to like and share this show. And if you have any questions about business, please put them in the comments. We are here for you. We're here to support you and help you to grow, build, and scale your own business. For more advice, please check out our website in the show notes below. Thank you again. This is Biatch.